Femafricmaths page. Today, before we start our interview, we have a trick to show our young audience how to write the 9 times table using a pattern that comes with it. Great. So, if you have your 9 times table and you want to find an easy way to write it out, you start by writing 9 times 1 up to 9 times 10. Then you start counting your numbers from 0 up to 9. So we start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you start counting again in ascending order from 0, starting from the 9 times 10. So you start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And in the end, you have your 9 times table. So this gives you a very easy way to write your 9 times table. Great. We now move to our interview, and we have a wonderful guest here, and we would like her to introduce herself and tell us her journey through maths.
My name is Fatumah Atuhaire. I'm from Uganda. I'm a PhD student at the University of Southampton, and I'm doing applied mathematics.
Okay, thanks, Fatumah. Thanks for honoring our invitation. So you've started your PhD and you're in your 2nd year, and some of our audience are looking forward to starting PhDs in maths, and we'd like our audience to benefit from the experience of our guests. So we'd like you to share with us what you have learned throughout your 1st year, what skills you have acquired, which would have added up to you before starting your PhD.
Thank you so much, Andy, for that question. And yes, I'm a 2nd year PhD student, and I've just completed my 1st year. And some key skills that I have learned is, in a PhD, you're always learning. So when you start, you should tell yourself that what I know is very little compared to what I'm going to learn. So it puts you in a place of learning all the time. And another thing that I've learned is to ask. Ask, because you don't lose anything when you ask. The worst you could get is a no, but at least you've asked. And also, it's wandering around and doing research and giving your best until you reach that point where you feel you've given your best, then you can rest. If you haven't, you keep going.
Thanks, Fatumah. Great. So you've given a word of advice to anyone who wants to do a PhD, but we would also like you to share some of the challenges you face, so that if someone is watching and the person has the chance to probably acquire those skills before starting, the person will benefit from it. So what are the challenges you face, and how do you think those challenges can be worked on before someone starts a PhD?
Yeah, one of the main challenges is because we work with abstract things, you have to tell yourself that I will give what I'm doing more time. So knowing that you work with an abstract type of subject, you tend to put in a more effort. So for anyone planning to do a PhD in science or in mathematics, you should be able to know that you're working with abstract things, so you have to put in more time. And then also another thing is, you have to think about why you're doing a PhD. The reasons that bring you to look for an opportunity and do a PhD should be the same reasons that keep you going. And if you want exposure and an international audience, you have to know very well that there are different cultures, different types of people, and you have to learn to handle people. You have to learn to take people from different backgrounds and be able to relate with them. So a PhD is not just about sitting in office and working, but also learning other things like administration, leadership, public relations. So it's an entirely bigger than just acquiring a document.
Okay. So you talked about people knowing why they want to do a PhD before they start. So maybe you can start by telling us why you wanted to do a PhD. You have 2 masters already. Why did you want to add up to your number of certificates? Is it because of the doctor title or
first of all, I think science is interesting. To be able to, one of the reasons why I chose to do a PhD is one that to do science is interesting, to put something, to study something at length, and put more time in it and be able to contribute to solve a problem. For me, was one of the things that pushed me to do a PhD. And also from where I come from, where the rate at which girls do science, especially mathematics, is very low, I felt like I can contribute in some way to inspire others to do mathematics. Then on a more personal level, I wanted to keep growing myself in research, to establish myself in research, and a PhD is a good start for me.
Okay. So I'm sure you use a lot of programming languages for analyzing your data and all that. So what kind of programming skills will someone who wants to do a PhD in applied maths require? Is it Python, MATLAB, R? Which of these should a person be conversant with before the person starts?
Yeah, before you start, if you can get resources, the first thing to do is to teach your mind that you can learn any programming language at any stage in life. That's very important. And another thing is different programming languages work for different fields. For example, if you're doing statistics, I would recommend R. If you're doing a lot of matrices and partial differential equations or any differential equations, I would recommend MATLAB, and I would recommend Python also for anyone who wants to go so much into software development and things that you want to learn new things. I think Python is also good, but in general, I would encourage you to be as open as possible when it comes to programming languages.
Okay. So before you leave, we would like you to give a short message to any young Ugandan lady or any young African lady watching who aspires to be a mathematician, a statistician, a scientist. What encouraging message would it be to that young person?
I'll tell them to pursue mathematics and to know that you can go as far as your mind can tell you can go.
Okay. Thanks so much for having our invitation, and looking forward to hearing about your success stories later.